Okay, let's start. I'm so sorry to all the nodal centers for the delay which occurred. What we can do is we will extend the lecture till 1:30 so that I will be able to do justice to you. And I am thinking of not going into all these theory which I used to speak. Let me go straight to the Matlab part of it. So Matlab stands for Matrix Laboratory, and there are various toolboxes which are comprehensive collections of Matlab functions. The Matlab system consists of 5 main parts. I'm not going into these details. Let us come to the actual work on Matlab. See, when we start Matlab, the system will open like this, which has a command window, okay, and the other windows also look like this, the edit window and the graphics windows. The main window of Matlab, which has a command window like this, it has this current folder here, and this is the launch pad, this is the command history, and this is the workspace. Those who have not worked on Matlab, it will be just an introduction that these, I think you can see it when you open Matlab. You will have these windows. You can close any one of this if you require more space to write your programs. But now we will work on the command window, is the important window over here. See, in addition to this, when we write a program, we open this edit window. This edit window will be opened, and on that we write the program. And when you write a program and you run a program, you have a plot. That means this graphics window will open and it will show you the figure. So you have the basic Matlab behind edit window and the graphics window also. If you want to see the figure in an enlarged mode, you can open the figure window to the full screen and see it also, or you can close it or minimize it and keep it and work on the edit window. Or else if you want to see the results on the command window, you can go to the command window. So usually these two windows had to be opened when you work. Okay, so these I have made the screenshots for you to understand. I'm not going into Matlab because in that pretext only our time has gone to start Matlab also. Okay, we will go into it. Now these are the commonly used commands. Many of you must be knowing it. Clock will give you the clock time. You can just note it down when I show it on this, and you can try it on the system. On the command window, on the arrow prompt, it will give you the details, what it is. Okay, clock, date, who will list all the variables in the workspace. Then clear all will clear your workspace. Clear XY set the files which you want to clear. CLC will clear your command window. When you write so many commands on the command window and you want to clear the command window and make it clear, you give the CLC command. CLF will clear the figure window and then keep it clear so that the next plot can go into it. Quit or exit will quit the Matlab. Now as we start writing using command window can be used as a calculator. So you may use the various arithmetic operators, relational or logic operators to work on the command window or to write a program. So these are the very common arithmetic operators. As you all know, plus, minus, star and slash are for division. Again, plus and minus for unary, plus and unary minus also. And for power, you have this hat type of operator, cap type of operator. We have to write P raised to Q, means you write P, this operator hat and a Q. Okay, this is for the arithmetic operators. Then for the relational operators like less than, greater than are the same only. Less than or equal to, you write a less than command and an equal to command along with it. Not that less than ke niche hum danda draw karenge. You will not get that. Less than and equal to, similarly greater than and equal to. When it is a comparison operator for equal to, then you will give a two equal to signs. Okay, symbol equal to sign is an assignment operator, and the as a relational operator you put to equal to, and for not equal to you give a tidal operator and equal to. These are the different operators. So once you start using it, you will be comfortable with it. Then we have the logical operators and, or, not, and exclusive or, and we have this ampersand sign, or we have this sign, and not will give you with this tidal sign, and exclusive or you have to write XOR. There is no sign for it, you have to write XOR. Then it also has various the hierarchy of operators which we usually have. BODMAS it has, and then while going on, I will give you more operators. For matrix you have a transpose operator. It is a single quote we use as a transpose operator. Then it has a right division operator. Okay, usually the division operator is a, now right division is the usual operator, it has a right division operator. Then we have a matrix multiplication and dot multiplication operators. We'll come to all those. See, any variable you write, you can write a is equal to 2, or you can write your name with combinations. Though equal to 2 you can write, you can use the command window as a calculator. Complex numbers, you can write 5 plus j3, and it will take it like that also. Okay, it will show you I 5 plus I3, but it takes I and j both. Real and the 5 plus j3 will give you the real part of it. Matlab नहीं किया ना हमने. Okay. Okay. Okay, then we have facilities of conjugating it, absolute value of it, angle of it. Absolute, how will we usually calculate? A square under root a square plus b square. But here you only have to write abs and the number. Angle is like tan inverse b by a. You have to only write angle of it. Okay. Similarly, we have a command for Cartesian to polar and polar to Cartesian. The commands are pol to cart. Okay, it will convert the polar form to Cartesian form and Cartesian form to polar form also. Okay, so there what we have to do is, because you have A and B, real, I'll show you that when the Matlab is on. A and B is the values you are giving as input. Okay, then here what we do is, you have to give the value AB, it will give you the complex polar values, and absolute value and the angle value. Okay. Okay, 1 minute. See, let me write here, pole to cart. Okay, it is not. I don't know whether you will be able to see it. Really, okay. Okay, now what I'm going to do is first let me define A is equal to 5 plus 3j. Okay, it will take as 5 plus 3j. When I write real A, it will give you the real part. When I write imag A, it will give you the means imaginary part. When I write abs A, it will give you the absolute value. When I write angle A, it will give you the angles in radians. So to get it in degrees, it should be 180 by pi. Matlab takes pi as pi. Okay, Matlab takes pi as pi. So angle of A is 30 degrees. What we done into 180 by pi. Okay, now I have to convert this Cartesian into polar to check whether I can take these values. Let us see, we can get this 5.83 and 0.5404 on the other side. Okay, so what we'll do is we will pole. Okay, पहले cart to pole करते हैं because we have cart to pole values. Cart to pole. Okay, what values do we have? 5, 3. Okay, these are our Cartesian values. Okay, now to get the output, we require two outputs. Okay, so for that we have to put a square bracket. The first t, comma r within square bracket equal to. So the output we will get in t and r. Can you see all of you? Okay, output we will get in t and r. The arguments are 5 and 3. So we should get the absolute value and the angle value. So let us run this. See, t is the theta value and r is the rho value, absolute value. Okay, so the first, if I would have written rt also, the first value t, you will get the angle, and second जो variable r will give you the absolute value. Okay, same is the case. आप pole to cart करते हैं अभी हम. Yes, it is an angle. Okay, now I have to come. Please, sir, I have just started the class now. Shimi is there only. A, B, pole to cart, T, R. So, T and R are our arguments where we are giving it in this order, theta and rho, means angle and the absolute value, and we get the real and imaginary. Now it is clear to you. Okay, now let's go for the thing. See, now when you were running it, you might have seen me giving the values and you are getting the answers. This is why this is known as a command window. You write the commands and you get the values. Okay. Now it is like if you don't want the values, you don't want to see the values. What you do is you put a semicolon here. So the semicolon operator is for suppressing the outputs. It will calculate, but it will not show you. So when you write programs, many a time what you do is you will write commands, but you will put a suppressing output, suppressing operator, semicolon, so that the output may not come onto the screen or onto the command window, so that your command window will be crowded. The output which you want to show on the command window only you show. So this is a suppressing output operator. Here what we use is, for suppressing the output, we put a semicolon after every command. Then we have trigonometric functions. All the trigonometric functions, like we write sine, cos, tan, sec, cot, it will work just like that. The only difference is for cosec. Cosec will be as CSC. See here, I'm highlighting it. It is CSC. Cosec के लिए you have to write CSC. Sine, cos, tan, sec and cot will be the same. Similarly, sine inverse. Sine inverse के लिए you write A sine. A sine, A tan, A cos, A sec, A cot, A CSC will work for as inverses. Sine inverse, cos inverse. Okay. Now, as I told you, when you use sine, cos and trigonometric functions, you have to give the arguments in radians. Okay, so for that matter, Matlab in its latest versions have given another option where you can give the arguments in degrees. The command options are sin d, cos d, tan d, secant d, cosecant d and all those. समझ में आ गया? Cosecant d is CSCD. And for the inverse, A sin d, A cos d, A tan d. Okay. Similarly, I'm not going into the details, you can note down and practice it. When you use it, you practice all this. You know the values. You know sin 30 is 0.5. For all other values also, you can try that. Similarly, hyperbolic signs. Sin h, cos h, tan h. Okay. And for sin h inverse, it is A cos h, A sin h. So all these commands will work similarly. You can try it, note down it. Then square root will SQRT will give you the square root. But it is not that cube root and other roots are also there. For that you have to use the power command. Okay, power command. Then you have log. Log is for the natural logarithm. For log to the 10 base is log 10. To the base 2 it is log 2. Okay, you can note down these and you can try doing it, because if it would have been a Matlab course, I would have explained each one of this in the class. Now it is, I am short of time also. The whole thing is for Matlab programming, so I am going a little bit faster. Okay, there is a command called power 2. You know, power, we write that hat operator. For any power you can write. For power of 2, there is a command called POW2. Factors will give you the factors of the numbers. Factorial will give you the factorial of the number. 5 factorial. Okay. Primes will give all the prime numbers less than that number. Primes 50 will give you all prime numbers less than 50. LCM will give you LCM, GCD will give you GCD. Matlab is a very powerful software. It has lots of functions. I have only written some simple functions here. Okay, let's go to the next. Okay, this I think I have already explained. Then when we come to data types, okay, like we define in any programming language various types of data types: characters, numeric, integers, unsigned integers, structures. All those data types are there in Matlab. More than that also, function handle, Java class, cell, all these data types are there. But the beauty is that you don't have to declare the data type. It will automatically take the data types. Okay, that is again a beauty in Matlab. Now, we'll go for a little bit of matrices. Okay, any matrix which you want to enter into Matlab. See here, I have written here A is equal to 274 semicolon 389 semicolon 167. Here within the square brackets. When you write it within the square bracket, the semicolon has a different meaning here. The semicolon works as a new line operator. So the output will be like I have shown it over there. I made a screenshot so that even if I don't go to Matlab, you will be able to see. If you write A is equal to, within square brackets, it will give you a matrix. If you if you put a semicolon after every number, it will give you a column vector. Okay, if you do not put any semicolon for the whole lot of value, it will give you a row vector. Okay, semicolon is a new line operator. Now see here, B is equal to AA. What it will do? It will concatenate both. See, I have got a augmented 3 by 1, 2, 3, 6 matrix. The 3 by 3 matrix is augmented by another 3 by 3 matrix, and we are getting a 3 by 6 matrix. Okay, so that in that way also you can make matrices. Now I'll show you a simple example. See, I'm using CLC to clear the command window. Now see, I'm going to tell you some more techniques of making matrices. Square bracket, 1 colon. It is a colon operator, not a semicolon. 1 colon 3 will give you. Okay, if I write there 10, it should give you. Okay, you don't have to write all this. You only have to give the colon operator. Okay, now if I write a 2 in between, what should I get? Yes, 2 is an increment operator. 1 is the starting value, 10 is the final value, 2 is the increment value. So 1 plus 2, 3 plus 2, 5, 7 and 9. Okay, so this notation means it will generate matrices or generate vectors, okay, depending on the starting value and the final value and the increment which you require. Okay, if I write it in a different way, 10 minus 2 and 1. Yes. So if you have to decrement it, you have to give a minus sign over there, minus 2. What? It will always increment only. हमें decrement करना है तो हमें increment value minus करना है. Okay. Now if I have, see, I'm going to write that. Okay, I'm going to suppress. I don't want to do it again and again. B is equal to AA. Okay. Now I generated a 3 by 6 matrix. Okay. Now if I want to have a particular row, to extract a particular row of it, see, I will write B see what I have done for the row. Okay, before that I'll give you more examples, simple examples. See what this will give you. It will give the value second row and third column. What is that second row and third column? So it will give us 3. Okay, if I change that 3 as a column, it will give you the second row fully. It will give you the second row fully. Okay, and if I write 3 here and put a column here, it will give you the third column. See what is the B and see what is the third column. Okay, now similarly, you can have parts of it also. See here, 2 comma 2 colon 4. That means on the second row, from the second column to the fourth column. See, that is what is happening here. From on the second row, from the second column to the fourth column. Similarly, on the fourth column, from the second row to the third row. Okay, so you can extract parts of the matrices. See here, it is again a different one. 2 colon 3 comma 3 colon 5. That means second row to third row, third column to fifth column. So a sub-matrix of a bigger matrix has been extracted. So a colon operator is used for extracting parts of a matrix or extracting sub-matrices. When you write a program, you can write a for loop and continuously extract parts of a bigger matrix for your processes. Okay, आपको फर्स्ट रो से फिफ्थ रो तक दो दो एलिमेंट को एक्सट्रैक्ट करके उससे आपको कुछ काम कराना है. यू राइट अ फॉर लूप एंड डू इट कंटिन्यूअसली. द प्रोग्राम विल एक्सट्रैक्ट पार्ट्स ऑफ मैट्रिसेस. ओके, so this is over. Now when you multiply, matrix multiplication, see here I have defined a matrix A, I have defined a matrix D. But when I multiply A with D, it will not. Why? The dimensions. Simple multiplication operator, as I was telling you, is simply 2 into 3 or 25 into 30 to multiply karega. But when it comes to matrices, this matrix multiplication, it will do matrix multiplication. That simple multiplication operator will do matrix multiplication. So A into D nahi karega. It will do D into A. See, it is giving you the values. When you do A into D, it gives an error, but gives D into A because the matrix, you know that matrix dimensions are not matching. Okay. Similarly, there are various commands on matrices. एक matrix दिया हो, size will give you that it is 3 by 6 matrix. Max will give you the maximum values of all the columns. Min will give you the minimum values. Diag will give you the diagonal values, but it will operate only on square matrices. Is matrix per diag will not work. So I have taken another matrix. On that, the diag will give you the diagonal values. Det will give you the determinant of the matrix. Okay. I and V will give you the inverse of a matrix. Okay, you can imagine the difficulty in calculating the inverse of a matrix. Okay, first find out the determinant, then divide it. Okay, so inverse will give you the inverse of the matrix. Sort will sort it in a particular order. See, let us see what A is. 2, 7, 4, 3, 8, 9, 1, 6, 7. It will give you as each column. It is in the ascending order. Mean will give you the mean. What it is doing? Add all the values divided by the number of values and give you the mean. When it is a matrix, it is giving you the mean of the columns. Sum of the matrix is sum of the column values. Prod will give you the product of the column values. Okay, length will give you the length, number of values in it. Okay, so there means I have told you fast, so many commands. Hope you have noted it down. Even if you could not note it down, I think you can get these videos by evening, na Harjot? Okay, in YouTube you can get these videos of my lecture and you can run it again and see also, even if you have missed any commands. Okay, so let me go a little bit faster. E3 will generate an identity matrix. You only have to give the command and it will generate an identity matrix like this: 1 0 0 0 1 0. 3 will give you a 3 by 3 matrix. I5 will give you a 5 by 5 identity matrix. Okay, zeros will give you a matrix of all zeros. Ones will give you a matrix of all ones. Okay, आपको कितना बड़ा मैट्रिक्स चाहिए उतना ही नंबर उधर देना है. Okay, If you require a 3 by 4 matrix of zeros, then you have to write zeros 3, 4. If you simply write 3, it will give you a 3 by 3 matrix. If you simply write 4, it will give you a 4 by 4 matrix. मुझे एक 3 by 4 matrix चाहिए, तो you have to write zeros 3 by 4. But that will not work with I. Identity matrix are always square matrices, so you cannot use that in I command. Once में आप use कर सकते हैं वो. Okay. Eig will give you the eigenvalues and the eigenvectors, but simply it will give you only the eigenvalues. When it comes to be, if you give that same command with the vectors, two values, then it will give you the eigenvector also and the eigenvalues. Okay. Similarly, it is very powerful. मैंने vectors and matrices बहुत fast किया है. Similarly, it is very powerful with polynomials also. See, matrix will, in matrix, the polynomial coefficients are represented as a row vector. See, if you have a polynomial as s cube plus 6x square plus 16s plus 16, you represent the polynomial as 1, 6, 16, 16. You don't have to write all s cube plus s square plus s. Matlab will get it. It will understand that. You only have to write the coefficients as a row vector. Similarly, I have defined two polynomials, c, y and z. आपने देखा इधर? Now, when you multiply the two polynomials, that's what I'm going to tell you. When you multiply the two polynomials, you cannot use symbol multiplication operator here. You have to do it. If you do multiplication operator, वो क्या करेगा? If I do s z by y, it will give you error because it will take it as a matrix multiplication. Matrix multiplication तो नहीं कर सकते. It will give you error. आपको तो multiplication करना है. Okay. There is another option called dot matrix, dot multiplication. That मैंने आपको बताया नहीं है. If I give 1, 6, 16, 16 and 0, 1, 4, 8. Okay, I'll show you, then it will be clear to you. Let me go to Matlab. Okay, see, I'm going to write x is equal to 1, 6, 16 and 16. Okay. Y is equal to 0, 0, 1, 4, 8. Okay. Now, when I multiply z is equal to x multiplied by y, it gives an error because it goes for a matrix multiplication and the dimensions not agree. If I give a dot matrix operator, that is again another operator, dot star, then what it will do is, it will do sample to sample multiplication. 1 will be multiplied with 0, 6 will be multiplied with 1, 16 with 4 and 16 with 8. But this is not the way you require in polynomials. Polynomials में हमें एक element को multiply करके उसकी powers को add करके, that's what we do ना, we multiply each of it. For that you have to do conv x comma y. Now, how will we make it a polynomial? आपको तो ये result मिल गया. Two polynomials था आपके पास, आपने उसको उसकी कोएफिशिएंट को लेकर दे दिया, कौन अप्लाई किया, you got it. Now how will you make it a polynomial? आपको उसकी डिग्रीज काउंट करना पड़ेगा. So here it will be for s, s square, s cube, s raised to 4, s raised to 5. So now how will you write the polynomial? S raised to 5 plus 10 s raised to 4 plus 48 s cube plus 128 s square plus 192 s plus 128. So that you have to do. Matlab will not do it for you. Okay? Matlab will not do it for you. That you have to do. Okay, now if I have to divide these two polynomials, the command is decon. Okay. Okay, what was the error? मैंने 0148 किया तो first element should not be 0. For division आपको पता ही है, it will not take 0. So I have deleted that. So I got, what is this now? S plus 2. It is only S plus 2 division. 1, 2, it will be S plus 2. Okay. Now we have more commands with it. Polynomials. Let me go fast. Addition of two polynomials, simply add x plus y. Then evaluate the value of a polynomial. I have 2s square plus 3s plus 4. If s is equal to 2, what would have been the value? 4 into 2, 8 plus 6 plus 4. वो मेरे को value मिलना है ना. So what we do? Polyval is the command. In that, c should be the coefficients and s should be the value. आपको s का वैल्यू 5 भी हो सकता है, 10 भी हो सकता है, 2 भी हो सकता है. So you put the value and you can evaluate the polynomial. Roots of a polynomial, the command is simply roots. Roots with the coefficients. Okay. So for a quadratic equation, it is easy for us. Even then we make mistake. Minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2. Okay, 2a, we make mistakes. What about 3 and 4 degrees? हमें equation ही नहीं पता. Okay, but Matlab will do the calculation and give it to you. The command is roots. If you have the roots, then you only have to give the command poly. It will give you the polynomial back. And to find the derivative of a polynomial, command is polyder. To find the integral of a polynomial, the command is polyint. Okay, and this is a very interesting command. It is very usual that we have to solve linear systems where we have various unknowns. You know that we have 3 unknown variables, means we should have 3 equations. So here also there are 3 unknown variables x, y, z, and I have 3 equations. Okay, and these 3 equations are in the form 5x minus 3y plus 2z equal to 10. Okay, you know that, minus 3x plus 8y plus 4z equal to 20, and 2x plus 4y minus 9z equal to 9. Now what we do, we take the coefficients and make into a matrix, and take the constants and make into another vector. And what we usually do is inverse of the coefficient matrix multiplied by the constants. यही हम करते हैं, inverse of A multiplied by B. Okay. Matlab has an operator for this. That's what I was telling you. I will tell you. It is a left-right division operator. We do it like this. The other operator is like this, right division. We do this operator, A by B. So that we get, what it will do, it will find out the inverse of A and multiplied by B. Okay, so इतने में आपको जितने भी बड़ा आपका ये हो, 5 by 5 हो, 10 by 10 हो, you have A values and B values, it will give you the values of the unknowns, X, Y, Z, P, Q, 3, जितना भी आपका values है. Now another application where we use polynomials are partial fractions. We have a polynomial fraction here. We have a polynomial in the numerator, another polynomial in the denominator, and find out the partial fractions of it. Okay. So here you have a coefficients of the numerator polynomial. We have the coefficients of the denominator polynomial. So we have n is equal to 1, 1, d is equal to 1, 7, 16, 12. The command is residue. residue n comma d. N is the numerator polynomial coefficients, d is the denominator polynomial coefficients, and you get the output as rpk. Now you get the output like this. ये आपका आउटपुट भी यही मिलेगा आपको. Okay, I'll show you this. Okay, n is equal to 1, 1, and d is equal to 1, 7, 16 and 12. Okay, so I have a partial fraction whose numerator is s plus 1, denominator is s cube plus 7s square plus 16s plus 12. Now we require the residue, partial fractions. Okay, so what we are going to do is we write the command r p k equal to residue n comma d. Okay, now when I do this, I get the values of r, p and q. R I get minus 2, 2 and minus 1. P I get minus 3, minus 2, minus 2, and K as 0, no value. Okay, now how will we write the partial fraction? Okay, that is your job. Matlab will not do it for you. See here. Here we have minus 2, 2 and minus 1. Okay, are the zeros. Then the poles minus 3, minus 2 and minus 2. When you have equal values, then you know you have to write s plus 3, s plus 2 and s plus 2 the whole square. And the denominator values are minus 2 by s plus 3. The fractions will become minus 2 by s plus 2 and minus 1 by s plus 2 the whole square. Why did we get k as 0? No value? थोड़ा ऊंचा बोलो. Because the order of the numerator is less than the order of the denominator. You practice with a higher order numerator and you will get a value of k. Then how will we write it? K plus. Yes, that you will have to write it. Okay, so this is again another important function and very useful function which you can use. Okay, I don't know whether you have calculated the partial fractions. Okay, we do it mentally, calculate, add karke, minus karke, multiply karke, we used to do it, but then it will give you the right answers. Okay, now I'll come to programming. See, till now we were writing commands on the command window and getting the answers there itself. But this is not the solution every time. You have to write programs and get outputs. So how to write programs and get outputs? That's what I'm going to tell you. We write program on the edit window and we call these program files as script files or M files. The M file name came because all these files of Matlab have an extension of .m. Extension of .m. So those files are known as M files also. Okay, now let me show you a simple edit window, edit file. See, this is an edit window. We call it as an editor and we write a program here. When we run the program, the output will be, because there is a plot here, we get a plot like this. Okay, now I will show you how you do it on Matlab. Okay, this is actually Matlab release 12. So it is a little bit different in release 13, but it is almost similar only. Go to File, New Script, File, New Script, and it will open a new editor window like this. Command window is there behind, editor window like this. Okay. Now I am going to write a program here. Okay. I'm going to generate some values and then calculate the sin x by x. वही मैंने आपको दिखाया ना, sin x by x of those values and plot the sin c curve. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So here there is a command called linspace -4 multiplied by pi See, linspace is a command to generate linearly spaced values between these values. What मैंने क्या लिखा है? -4 pi to 4 pi. So -4 pi is the minimum value, starting value. 4 pi is the final value, and it will generate 100 values. Okay? It will. I am not giving the increment value here. जो मैंने पहले कॉलन ऑपरेटर में हम इंक्रीमेंट वैल्यू दे रहे थे -10 और 10 के बीच में. Here the final value and the starting value ही हम दे रहे and the number of values. So we use the command linspace. Okay, now I have 100 values between -4 pi to 4 pi in the variable x. Okay. Now I'll write y is equal to sin x by x. Okay. Now what is it doing? To calculate the sine of the first value and divide it by that value. Similarly, sine of the second value in x, divide by that value. So we require a sample to sample division. So we have to put a dot here. Dot division x. Sin x dot division x. Okay. Again I am going to put a semicolon because otherwise it will crowd your command window with all these 200 values of x and y. I don't require it. Okay. Now give a command. We require only the plot x comma y. We require only the plot x comma y. Okay. Now to run this, there is a run command, tool here, or you have to do F5. F5 command से भी ये हो जाएगा. I'm going to run this. Now while running, I have to save it. Okay. See, you have got the plot. So this is what I was telling before. You have three windows. One is this figure window, and this is the edit window, and this is the command window. Okay, so you can see all these windows and you can see the result and the error. If there is an error also, that will be shown on the command window, and you correct it and you will get the plot on the figure window. Okay, so how do we come here? On the command window, if you go for file, new script, okay, it will open. See, it is the editor was already opened. So the file which I have already done is there. There's a tab here. Another file is now open for you to write another program. Okay, and it is having the figure window also here. You only have to close it if you don't want it. Okay, now we'll go for some more programs because you know I will go with the programs fast. On the same program, if you write area for plot की जगह हम area लिखो, So this will be the plot. It will show you the area under the curve. Okay. Similarly, if you write stem instead of plot and area, if you write stem, it will show you this plot. Here the plot is for the discrete values. Those who work in digital signal processing and show the discrete values by drawing a line from the point to the x-axis. This is the plot. Okay. If you draw stairs, command is stairs, it will show you a plot like this. If you require title, X label, Y label, you write it like this. I think you can see it. It will give you on title, X label and Y label on the same plot. If you require the grid line should be on like this, write grid on. Give a legend like this. You have two plots and give the legend like this. If you have two calculations, sin x by xba, exp xba, then you write plot. Okay. This plot yy is again another command. Plot yy will give you two y-axes. See, there is a y-axis here and there is a y-axis different one. So if you require two y-axis values different, then the command is plot yy. Okay. If you require multiple plots in one plot, write all those in one line, x1, y1, x1, y2, x1, y3. Again you have to write x over there. You have y1, y2, y3 calculated. You cannot write plot x, comma, y, comma, y1, comma, y2, comma, y3. No. You have to write plot x1, y1, comma, x2, comma, y2, comma, x1. Same x-axis hai, but same value ko again and again you have to write. Okay. If you require your plots in different figure window, अलग-अलग figure window में आपको output चाहिए, write a figure command in between. प्लॉट xy और प्लॉट xy1 के बीच में आप एक फिगर कमांड दे दो तो दो फिगर विंडो बना के आपका फिगर को दो फिगर विंडो में देंगे. कंबाइंड चाहिए तो क्या चाहिए, प्लॉट x, y, x, y1 लिखना है तो एक ही प्लॉट में जैसे इधर है. ओके. अनदर इज द सब प्लॉट. एक ही फिगर विंडो में अलग अलग एक्सेस. Here you have to use the command subplot. See, I have x की value है linspace जो मैंने आपको बताया. Y is sin x, C is sin x multiplied by cos x, 3 is sin x cos x exp. All those calculation आपने किया y c d का. Now you have to plot it. For plotting you require I will plot it like this. 3 different plots on the same figure window. So we use subplot 3, 1. That means you have 3 plots, okay, and 1 horizontal line. One इसमें है, okay. So 3 vertically, horizontally 3 and vertically 1. Okay, 3, 1 and 1 is the first plot, and you will plot x, y. Plot x, c for 3, 1, 2. Plot x, d for 3, 1, 3. I'm going a little bit faster with this Matlab programming. Now we may have to write program using the structures if, else and end. See here, this is a program for calculating the exam scores of the student and calculating their grade. See the program here. Input the values in an array. Average equal to mean, mean से आपको average calculate हो जाएगा. 8 students हो, 12 students हो, 35 students हो, आप एक array बनाओ, it will take. Okay. And if average is greater than or equal to 90, grade equal to A. Else if A grade नहीं है तो फिर कौन सा grade है? If it is greater than or equal to 80, else if is good. Nested if है. You can write any number of else ifs, but last should be else and there should be an end at the end. Okay, so that is the if structure. Then we have loops. See here, this is the output which you are going to get. We are going to plot so many stars like this, asterisks. Okay, a star square program hai. See, n is equal to input, any number. For j is equal to 1 colon n, you will not write 1 to n, 1 colon n. For I is equal to 1 colon n, f printf is to print star. See, the quotes के बीच में आपने star लिखा, end. ये for के लिए भी एक end होना चाहिए, for loop when you use. When you use a for loop, there should be a variable I is equal to 1 colon n. जितने बार आपको चलाना है उतने बार 1 colon के बीच में देना है. Okay, and there is a nested loop. First loop से ये 1 line print होगा, f printf slash n में new line create हो जाएगा. Again the same loop will run again and again. It will give you a thing like this. Okay, this is a while loop. In a while loop, you have to give a condition along with the while. You don't have to write I is equal to 1 colon n. No. Here you do not know कितने बार इस loop को चलाना है. Here the condition को satisfy. The while loop will run till the condition satisfies n less than or equal to 300. What is the question? The first integer whose cube is greater than 300. That is our condition. So we initialize I and n. N is less than or equal to 300. I is 0. It will become 1. N is I cube 1. Okay, it is less than 300. Again, it will increment 2. 2 is 8. 3 is 27. 4. It will go on like this, and it will give you the output is f printf. The first integer whose cube is greater than 300 is %g slash n comma I. %g की जगह I लाके, this will be your output on the command window. 3000 is 50. Loop सारे चलने के बाद 15 पे it will have a value greater than 3000. 14 तक it is less than 3000. Okay, any questions? Because it is 1:30 and I have made a running race of what I have to show you. If you have any questions in the senders, anyone has to ask me any questions?
Can we have this PPT?
Yes, PPTs I can give you, and even you can get it. Yes. Do any of the centers want to ask me any questions? You can get these PPTs. I'll ask. I can give it to Shimi. Shimi can send it by mail to your coordinators in different centers, and you can use it for your learning purposes. There is no problem for me. I'll give you, and you can see this video in the YouTube. If you have any doubts, you can look into it and understand it also. You can practice it also. If you have not practiced on your systems, you can do it on it in the evening.